Hello, everyone. So today we're gonna talk about the onboarding. So the experience here, we will go over some of the videos. So I'm gonna show you how we can do this, but let's take it from the start. So for the new fellows, welcome aboard, and we're gonna go over the goals. So to start with, I'm gonna share with you this here a small short presentation about the Tele-Geriatric Research Fellowship. The goal is to empower healthcare providers, whether they are medical graduates, dental therapists, pharmacists, laboratory personnel, or nursing staff. So we're gonna go over this. So without ado, we will talk about the onboarding experience. So the history behind this Tele-Geriatric Research Fellowship is that we started during the COVID pandemic. So we try to help medical graduates learn some research experience, particularly in geriatric medicine. So we started the program, and it was funded in the first 2 years by Michigan State University. At this time, we are seeking other collaborations. We are trying to increase our staff and help many graduates in the medical field. So the idea of the Tele-Geriatric depends on helping each other. So the new fellow will join the program in a team. There will be some senior fellows. So it's a learning process. So the new fellow will ask the seniors as mentors, and they will give them guidelines for the answers to their question. As we mentioned, there are different types of graduates in this program. So the program itself, we can divide the learners into the basic learners, the entry level, where you may not have enough information or skills about the topic or about a skill that you want to perform, for example, statistics or writing a paper. Some of you might have some knowledge or some skills. They did a paper or an abstract, or they went to a conference. And some of you might have a great experience. We call them experts in the field or in the area that specifically they work with. For example, some of you might know the language, Spanish language, for example, so they can help others learn the medical language in Spanish, for example. The pace is flexible, so it depends on you, and you want to look at how you learn. So we have some videos collected along with recorded meetings in the past. So we ask you to review some of them. This will be found in the app, where it's researchfellowship.glideapp.io. And here you will find some of the previous meetings, or you can look at certain videos. And sometimes we have some categories if you want to prepare for the interviews. For example, we have some videos on that. If you want to learn some presentation skills, you hit here and so forth. Or you can see all of the presentation of the videos. The program itself is project-based, so you can bring your own idea. We call it a research question. and you can start a project. You can have a team. You can be the team leader for that project. So this is a category by itself where we base our work on projects. So each one can start a project, or they can join an ongoing project as a team member. The idea is that the team will work together. So the project manager or the project team leader will assign tasks for the team members so that they can complete that project and submit it either in a form of an abstract to a conference, where if accepted, they can present it as a poster or oral presentation. The other option is a project where they want to write a manuscript and then submit that to a journal. If that's accepted, it's going to be a paper that's published in a journal. Another way of looking at it is an app development, so mobile applications. And the team leader or the project manager can assign some of the tasks of how to develop an app between the project team members. And then if completed, we can submit that to the stores, online stores like Google or Apple stores. The skills that we learn during this process, we go over some personal skills, teamwork, communication skills, collaboration, leadership skills, confidence, and like organization skills and so forth, time management, for example. Also, we want you to learn, if you are interested in some of the languages here. For example, in the US, Spanish language is second language. So if you can learn it, you're going to be helpful to your team if you have many of the patients who speaks the language. The other area that we want you to get involved with is collaboration. So if you are in the US, you can try to see local people, for example, institutions that are working in the research, and you can approach them and see if you can collaborate with them in a project that interests you. During this process, we will give you feedback, and hopefully this will be constructive feedback. We also will be holding some webinars or some workshops so that you can learn and act on these skills that you are learning. So one of the other options that we work with is on innovation in research. So we can look back of what happened in the past and try to come up with new ideas and see if we can bring something to the literature. We have some mentors, as we mentioned, and then if you want to become a mentor, if you have an area of expertise, you are welcome to share your experience as well. Project management, we can work in a project. You start with the idea, and then you lay down of what you're gonna do, the method of that project, and then you divide that into small tasks, and then you open the floor for teams to join. So the team members will be assigned some of these tasks, and you identify the deadline, and hopefully you will finish that project. Sometimes you may have some medical cases, for example, you can write that as a case study, or you can present that in a conference, for example. We have a weekly meeting where we will let fellows present some topics. We start with a general topic in geriatric medicine. What's the knowledge about some of the important topics in geriatric medicine. And then we will touch on some of the skills or some of the up-to-date new knowledge in the medicine, for example, or dental area. It depends. We are flexible. We will work with you with interview skills. We will work with you with other types of skills that you need to work on. So abstract writing, for example, you can come up with the idea. We published some, different types of abstracts in the past, and we presented that in different conferences here in the US and international conferences. We published some of the articles as well in different journals here in the US and abroad as well. These are some of the conferences that we participated in. Some of the fellows were in person, and some of the presentations were virtual. So we also participate in some of the conferences like Alzheimer's Association annual meetings virtually. So you can find that here in the videos, for example. So we have some of the papers or posters presented orally virtually in these conferences. Sometimes we can write a research paper and submit that to a journal. So we want you to go over the process of how to write the paper and how to submit it to the journal, or how to write an abstract and submit it to a conference. Here we also teach you how to develop a mobile application. We start with the idea, and then we can help you identify how you want the presentation of that mobile application. It's a user interface, so what the user will see their device, for example, the smartphones or the smart tablets. And then we will work on how to code that with a user-friendly coding tools. And hopefully we will finish that. And during the past year, we have published 5 applications and submitted to the Google Store as well as Apple Store. So we have a very successful year. The timeline for the fellowship, as we mentioned, is flexible. So in the early months or 2, we hope that you learn the teamwork together, and then you approach your seniors, and we will have our meetings, weekly meetings. And in addition, if there is a topic that interests you, we can create a webinar and work on some of the topics that's important. During the midterm area, we hope that you will be involved in a research project, and hopefully you will finish at least one project before the year ends. And if you do that, we will be happy to produce a letter of recommendation for you and a certificate. Some of you might want to stay longer. We will be happy to have you as seniors or mentors for the next generation. We have a couple of fellows who entered into the medical field. For example, some of them went directly to internal medicine, family medicine residency, pathology, radiology residency, or some of them ended up with fellowship like in geriatric medicine, infectious disease, and nephrology. So we will end up here. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.